Hey guys, Dark Souls 2 comes out at the 25th of April, and I go back to school at the 24th of April, which sucks immensely. So, other than, I kind of finished all of my chores to school, to the game design studies that I'm taking right now. Finished all my chores, everything I need to do, and I am working on Unity stuff. I'm working on my card game called Mocha, Multiplayer Online Card Arena. Yeah, I'm working on that one. It should have been done, but the networking is proving to be very, very difficult, and I'm currently working with a friend of mine that's helping with a couple of stuff, and it's been kind of slow for not reasons beyond my control, but it's been kind of slow the last week, but I am working on it. And with that said, I do have a lot of free time right now. Like, exceptionally large amount of free time, and I want to play Dark Souls 2, but it doesn't come out for the PC until the 25th of April. Okay, it already came out for consoles, but I have a PC, not a console, so I really, 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 really want to play it. So basically what I'm doing is Dota, Path of Exile, Dota, Path of Exile, Dota, Path of Exile, Dota, Path of Exile, and with all due respect to both of these exceptional games, I want to play Dark Souls, and neither of them are Dark Souls, so what do? Well, I need to play something else, really. I went to my Humble Bundle library, right? Because you got a library now for Humble Bundle, and I checked out what's in there that I haven't played yet. Clearly, there's a lot of games there that I haven't played yet, and I downloaded a couple of them and I played them through, and I finished. And let's talk just a little bit about those that I played. So first, I played Guacamelee, which I also posted up a video of its ending, of Guacamelee's ending, on my channel if you want to check that one out. If you fancy that game. It's a Castlevania game type game. So it's a platformer, an action platformer where you gain powers and then you fight stuff, and there's also traversal, and also puzzles where you gotta, execute correctly skills, and it's a platformer. And it was a lot of fun. It was really, really, really a lot of fun, and I completed it almost completely, 100% of the game, and there was a DLC, which is just a couple of challenges, which I didn't do 100%, but I did pretty much everything the game had to offer, and it took me about 9 hours during the last week. It was a lot of fun. It was a really exceptional game. Highly recommend it. It's really, really great. Even if I didn't really connect to the luchador theme, it's just a really good game, so you should definitely check that out if you like the type of Castlevania. So that was one. I played Guacamelee first, then I played The Swapper, which is a completely puzzle platformer. So it's 100% puzzle platformer where you can swap. Yeah. You can create a clone of yourself that will move. If you move, it moves exactly in the same way that you moved. What you can do is swap places with him at will. And and you have up to 4 clones, and there's puzzles with that mechanic and everything else that they add. That's the core mechanic, and they add stuff, clearly. It was really good. It was really, really good. The puzzles, it's just a puzzler, and it also has an interesting story. Now, let's divide it into two stuff. There's the story and the atmosphere, and there's the gameplay itself. So the story and the atmosphere are actually wonderful. I really liked it. I wish that story was more fleshed out and I'd understand more what the hell is going on, because the conclusions at the end it didn't feel like a good conclusion, I wish there was more to it, but it was definitely engrossing and interesting and lovely. The atmosphere was incredible. The gameplay itself was awesome up to a point, because most of the early stuff actually used... I did 100% of everything. I completed all of the game had to offer. So the majority of it was, using your brain, and you have to figure out the situation and move and do the things accordingly like you should do, which is great. But later on, it kind of started using, in the more difficult levels, sadly, it was using, they were using a gameplay thing where you kind of just, you need to figure out what you need to do, but it's less that, it's more like, you do this, and at the last second, there's like 2 seconds for you to just click there. Instead of, okay, this, and then this, and you do this, and you do this, and you do this, you win, that's it. You understood what you need to do, you got the correct mechanics. Instead of that, it relied on Twitch reactions. Well, not really Twitch reactions, but kind of like, barely just kind of 4 pixels that kind of work, and I did not enjoy that. Those levels, I don't like that type of gameplay. So that I disliked, but other than that, it's a really wonderful game. So that's The Swapper. I have like a million more games, but I only played 2 more. One of them is Dear Esther, which made a lot of noise back when it was released. It's kind of it's an art type game, and and you don't really play, you just walk around, you listen to stuff, and it's pretty, and then you kind of finish it, and that's it. It's made a lot of sensation, talks about what really is a game, and it's an interactive story, or all kinds of stuff like that. Bottom line for me, modern art, where everybody hates modern art because it's really dumb, in the sense where there's Van Gogh did an amazing, he made some stuff that are admirable as hell. Okay, from a painting point of view, he's remarkable. And modern art is triangle, circle, different colors, padam, and that is really stupid. And it's just fuck off. It's terrible, right? So to me, Dear Esther is that for gaming, which is not a positive thing. It's a very, very negative thing because I hated it. I absolutely despised it. It's really terrible. It's boring. It's so boring. And if you say, I just didn't get it, I did get it. It was just still boring. I mean, I'm sorry. It was the audio cues that you get, they're completely random. They're interesting and they do tell you some sort of story, but it's so incredibly vague that you can't really put it back together. And I did read about it later on online, and you can't really make anything out of it. And I was really, 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 really thankful that it is a source game, which means, and it gave me access to the console. The first thing I do when I enter a game is check out the options, right? And there was an option, enable console. So I enabled the console a little bit through the game, and I made the speed at which I walk, the walking speed, way, way, way faster, okay? So just for reference, you walk at about 30 or 40, okay? You walk at about 30 or 40 in Dear Esther. Walking speed in Half-Life, okay, is 60, 70. When you run, it's 140, which is usually the default. You don't walk in these games. In FPS games, you have walk, run. You never walk, you always run, and then you have sprint, right? So running was 100 and something, and sprinting was like 300 in Half-Life. In Dear Esther, you cannot do any of those things. You only move, and your movement is always at 30, which is really slow. So I changed it to 300, which made me finish the game in about 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes, but a couple of minutes instead of, 14 hours, because which I really, really despised. So it's absolutely terrible. That's that. The last game that I played is not Dear Esther, is Starseed Pilgrim. Starseed Pilgrim, which also made a lot of noise when it came out, but this one is actually interesting. And the thing is that it kind of ends. I mean, you go in and you need to figure out what the hell's happening. And once you do, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't sure that I got everything, but I got a lot. And then I went online to check because I was kind of done with it. I checked online if there was more, and I don't think there's more. So I'm done. And there's someone hitting a bell outside. So I'll just close the window or something. So there's, where was I? Goddamn bells outside my window. Somebody courting me. Yeah. So Starseed Pilgrim, once you kind of finish it, you get to that point, I don't have anything more to do there, I feel. But what was there, and again, I checked online if there was anything more, and according to what I saw, there isn't. You just keep doing what you're doing after you figure it out what you need to do, supposedly. I might be wrong here, but that's as far as I got. It's interesting. It's really cool. It does interesting things there, and you kind of have to play it in order to understand. And you should play it without checking online first, right? You should just go in with a blank slate. It's interesting. It does cool things, and I want to see more. I want to see a conclusion, I want to see closure or a point to it. And I feel it's just, again, I might be wrong. There might be a point that I don't know of, but I don't think there is. You just kind of go with it and you do it. And at some point, it's just kind of, okay, I'm kind of done with it, which happened to me pretty quickly. So that was the game that I played. And, I played all of those, and it's the 14th of April. So there's still over 10 days, and I got to do something else. So I have 2 weeks, and I don't really have other games to play other than the standard ones, which you can only play so much. Well, I should make games, right? It's it's a lot of time, and you could use that time to make some stuff. So I am working on another game, and I am going to start posting up a couple of Unity videos because I've been a jackass for not doing that. So I'm going to post Unity videos about that game and also the card game, also Mocha. And I'm just, playing Dota a little bit, being sad I can't play Dark Souls, and play Dota a little bit more. it's pretty much what I'm doing right now. And also making games, because I should be making more stuff and trying out more stuff, right? Yeah. So as usual, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.